Good morning, Suzanne Joy.
Good morning, Deborah LeeAnn.
I would like to tune in with you today. How do you feel about talking about the pulse currently or the pulse that's coming? Because I'm kind of in between them.
Okay.
I've been feeling like I'm in between everything all the time anyway. Like my daughter and I were talking about the moving everything everywhere all at once. And I said, uh-huh. Yes,
So would you like to do a drop-in?
I would, because I'm all over the place. So let's just gather ourselves, shall we? Let's collect ourselves. I remember that my mother used to say that. Let's collect ourselves. Ah, and lower your gaze if you're not driving, or you can, or close your eyes and just drop in. Tune in. I love this. And it has so much to do with the gene keys that we're playing with this at this time too, and the forgetting to drop in. So as we allow ourselves to find our breath, tune into what our breath is doing. Put your hand on your belly and see if your breath can actually make it all the way down. And soften your face, soften your shoulders, soften your body, as it doesn't have to hold itself up anymore. We're actually allowing our seat to hold us up, our chair, whatever we're sitting on, and allow gravity to hold us. Why do we forget that we're a part of something so big and interconnected and interwoven, and we're so supported? Okay, let's just take a breath together and then I'll be ready to tune in with you, Suzanne. So you ready? In through the nose and out through the mouth with a sigh. A little bit of oxytocin there. How you doing?
Hi. I am being present to now moment.
That's fabulous because when I can feel how my energy is just I just have to like be like a bird feeder, or a light that all the moths come back to. It's like, come on back, all you parts of me that are so um when we do our little weekly chats, Suzanne and I want to know whether or not we want to have our conversation to check in with each other personally before or after we record. And I chose after because I feel like half of the juice of our conversation is is tuning into what is in this moment. We can talk about what our weekends were like or what's going on in our relationships, but this is the place where it's just like all happening right here.
Right here, right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So the current pulse of 31, I've been really deeply diving into because it's in my star pearl action triangle of the moment. And it's also been it's a theme that just feels so important in the work that I do, um, about integral leadership. I mean, we that is exactly what we're playing with, is moving from that arrogance into the leadership, into the humility stage. And I I love that key, but it also is one of those like constant, okay, is that arrogance? Is that arrogance talking? And I even said that to you yesterday in a text. Oh, that's just my arrogance talking. So how do you play with this? Does it probably
Just
doesn't bother you as much personally? Like for me, it's like
no, that hasn't been bothering me. Um, But it's interesting because that's one of our pillars in the
Oh,
school,
the school. Yeah.
sounding our truth. And I know we'll revisit it again next year.
Yeah.
Um, that it's just a natural part. It's about, being able to utilize your voice exactly when you need to in that now moment. And not coming from a egotistical state of mind. This is really about coming from your heart center and leading your life in integrity and showing up in humility and knowing that you are here as your divine self, being all that you can be for the leadership of yourself, as
Yeah.
well as how it can govern, what happens around you.
And we are so quick to judge other leaders. The leaders that are in the positions that we can see that are really, visible. The heads of corporations, the heads of our government, and I'm very often I'm getting better at noticing that the stuff that really bugs me about them, can I find a match in me? Why? Or can I love it? Because this is what's interesting is I play with that. I'm like, oh, well, look at that. And he's doing that. And she's doing that. And I'm like, whoa. So I'm really playing with finding what my triggers are and then kind of reworking them in my system because it's so much nicer. I can feel my shoulders start to rise when I'm playing with that. And I'm going, oh, yeah, let that go. And can I love that in me, the match in me, that human tendency that's driving me crazy in another? And this can, yes, we see it in public officials and people on television, but we also can see it so closely in our family, in our relationships. Um, so honoring it.
Yeah. And I know that is definitely something that I've truly been working through. This is part of the moving from um, that judgment or impatience, um, as well as addiction. Um, and those are the things, those three keys in my chart. This is what I'm working on stable fortitude. It's what's stopping me from taking good care of my health and my connections in my community. If
Oh,
I see those keys show up, I know that it's time to pause, lay out a plan, and increase my frequency to patience, integrity, and invention.
isn't that lovely to play with that?
Yeah.
Oh,
And so it's all about finding that anchor within myself,
hmm,
that I feel safer within myself. And I have my healthy rhythm of myself and attuning to myself. And the rest, I recognize, I then become the tuning fork.
yes.
I'm not swayed by other um,
The outside forces. Yeah, the
readiness.
mm,
And as I can be more of myself, I can hold space and capacity for that leadership. And I recognize, that's when I can say, I lead. I lead from my heart center. I lead. And this week, we're moving into Gene Key 33, and we're talking about Gene Keys written by Richard Rudd, moving out of forgetting, which is the shadow, into remembrance. And the acidic state is revelation. So we between I lead and I remember, remembering your natural state. And as I understand my own perfection, those three keys then turn into timelessness, perfection, and silence. And so I'm honoring all parts of that stability, my humanness as well as my divineness, and reveling in the natural unfoldment.
I love that. And it also plays with the spectrum because we are going to be in and out and around and dancing between the shadow, the gift, the acidic state, and because they're all related. I think we think that we have to graduate, and move up to this another level and then move up to this other level. And that's part of my arrogance, and it's a huge part of spiritual people's arrogance, is we tend to feel like we're better than that. We've gone through this. We should know this by now. We should be able to act should. I heard that. And we're judgy of others for not having the same or higher consciousness state within them. That is not our place.
Not our place.
And,
Stay,
yeah.
stay, stay in your lane.
And what I love is when you were saying the I lead, and I saw that column of your light there, and automatically, because mine is about the creative collaborations. I'm playing a lot in the community culture key as well as creativity and vocation. So that's my triangle right now. But I'm hearing how we are mirror transmitting these energies. So by you standing and saying that I lead, I'm like, oh, and I lead too. So it's a contagious, Remember when we were always so worried about the COVID thing, and now it's like, I want the good stuff. I want to be contagious. I want to be emanating the energy that is contagious and impacts those around me. And that's what's going to help me create the creative collaborations and magical connectivity that I'm playing in. So I love that we're starting to see, or I'll speak for myself, the relationships as between these states as being so fluid that we're all of them all the time, all at once. Like we were just talking about that movie. So the forgetting, I just want to say how forgetting and arrogance play together so well. I mean, we're moving from the arrogance shadow into the forgetting shadow. And it is about it's not tuning in. It's not dropping in. It's not going, oh. And I remember reading somewhere recently that every time we take a breath that's conscious, we're reconnecting to ourself. We're reconnecting to our bodies. We're reconnecting to spirit. We're reconnecting to the all. So it's so important to consciously take a breath versus the kind that we take when we're not even thinking about it.
Right.
How arrogant.
How would you like to close today, Deborah?
I think I would like to close with a mudra around when I'm noticing that I'm forgetting or being arrogant by forgetting that I'm part of all of it, is taking my right fist and enveloping it with the left. And what this does is it automatically softens, right? We are so held. And this brings us back into our humility, our natural state of humility. And just breathing into that and softening into that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Delicious. Talk to you soon, babe. And thank you for listening, anyone and everyone who is a part of our group. We so appreciate you. Till next time.
Next time.